Kia ora and welcome to Under the Checkered Flag. I'm Kate. Some of you will hear my voice weekly on the Under the Checkered Flag podcast, but I have done a vlog on my time in Malaysia because it was sensational and really interesting, and I always find that finding out grandstands, the views and things like that are quite hard. Like, there's not a lot of content saying, hey, here's the view from this grandstand at this track. So I tried to make this video as educational as I can about attending the Sepang Grand Prix and basically why I enjoyed it a lot more than Phillip Island, which is a bit worrying because it's cheaper for me to attend Sepang as a New Zealander. So yeah, we'll see what next year brings. But also my Furman Outergear t-shirt, yay, totally bought from some shady dude next to the track, but we'll get into that. Made it to Malaysia, pretty absolutely tired. I got in last night, but it was like 1 a.m, so I'm like, no way am I filming. So I'll give you guys a quick tour of my room. I'm staying in Kuala Lumpur and we are getting the bus to the track. I'm staying at the Alia Premier in City Centre. It's in the Hotel Maya, and this is my room. It's perfectly functional, got everything I need, and is a little bit nice. My view is just of the city. This is only a block away from where the bus picks us up, so that's why I picked it. And the hotel has a pool, which I know I'll be putting to use. Fun little thing is you can see into the bathroom for the bedroom for those that way inclined. Now, I did see some sights because I was here Monday to Monday. This is the Petronas Twin Towers and the park. Overall, I did go up the towers and it was all right. It was fine. It did feel a bit like you were being herded like sheep, which I didn't find particularly enjoyable. But, you know, when in Kuala Lumpur, you've got to see the sights a bit. And so, yeah, I wouldn't do it again, but overall, it was good to do. I did also do a city centre tour, and yeah, overall, I got to see quite a lot of things and eat a lot of foods I never would experience otherwise. Highlight is easily Batu Caves, just seeing all the temples and, of course, the monkeys because I'm a huge animal lover. Overall, just, yeah, really good to see and experience new things. So for day one at the track, I have my lovely Honda backpack. Although this is on its last legs, I really need to sew because, yeah, let's hope it makes it through this trip. My trusty Donington jacket, a fan because if you know me, I do not handle heat well. Panadol, as you may have noticed from my appearance, I'm not feeling the best at the moment. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I've had recent jaw surgery. And then I managed to burn myself as well, like 2nd-degree burns on my stomach. And now, after Australia, I managed to get myself a cold. So I picked these up in Singapore airport, so they're coming to track with me. My Furman Outergear cap. I do have a flag that I may take as well. I'm a firm member of the Furman Outergear fan club. Sunglasses, headphones, emergency ponchos because that doesn't have a hood. And this is Malaysia. We know it's going to rain at some point. Snacks. Hopefully I can get these in. We'll find out. And yeah, let's head to track. So we are outside the Twin Towers and trying to find a bus. I can see a motorcycle hanging off a banner, so I think we'll be alright. You get a bus to the track and then you get on another bus. On Friday, they let anyone into the main grandstand, so that's where we're going to be exploring today. On Saturday and Sunday, I'm in F grandstand, and one thing I learned is they don't announce when you're at F grandstand on the bus. So do be sure to make the driver know that you need to go to F grandstand, and then they will stop there. But it's a beautiful, beautiful location. The main grandstand is far superior and K grandstand is because you get access to all these merch stores. So F grandstand is in a totally different part of the track and you can't access any of these stalls on your ticket. And it's honestly such a vibe, so incredible, so much going on, so many things to look at. It's honestly quite sensational, the atmosphere in this little village. definitely no shortage of food here. You'll find everything from KFC to Malaysian satay. It's definitely a good selection and extremely affordable. So here's what I'm packing for day 2. The biggest change isn't just the bag, because my handbag is still attached. The stitches are still intact, look. But we're down to 2, so I'm just going to take this home and actually fix it because I absolutely adore that bag. So I got that as part of the track tour, so that's our new bag for the weekend. But this, you guys probably didn't notice yesterday and last night's video because the lighting was good, but I'm incredibly sunburned on my chest, so sunscreen. I forgot it yesterday, regretting it today. The other thing is insect repellent. They should go together. I am not taking my jacket because it's just warm enough. I don't think I need it. I've got my emergency ponchos if I need it. I did take this yesterday. I can't remember if I videoed it. This is my e-reader. There was a track delay yesterday, and yeah, I was so glad I had this because there's not really anything to do when there's no track action and you're at the track. I'm also taking my Firmin Outer Gear flag. Woo! My boy's gonna make it out of Q2. If this video doesn't get uploaded, it's because my boy did not make it into Q2. But he's gonna get into Q2. Let's go Firmin. Hat, all the other things as normal. I can't show you the new charger for this because it is plugged into my television charging, because I forgot my universal plug and I'm too stingy to buy another one because I can spend that on merch, which I plan to hopefully get some today. So this is what I'm packing for day 2.
So, as I said, F Grandstand is in a totally different part of the circuit, and Saturday and Sunday you have to sit there because, that's what you paid for. The good news is Saturday there was like no securities. You could take your own food and drink in. The good news is also there's I say lots, there's a few food options, but the variety was pretty decent. There was no merch though, but the views absolutely make up for it because you can see so much of the track and see some of the best corners quite close up. Getting the bus home went really smoothly. I'm just kidding. It was an absolute nightmare on both Saturday and Sunday, the 2 days I got the bus back. The bus drivers got lost both times, and it took about 2.5 hours to get back to Kuala Lumpur city centre. So learn from my mistake. My advice is if you're doing this, get the bus to the airport and then take the train because that'll take probably an hour all up tops rather than the 2.5 hours. But definitely a lesson learned for next time. And it warmed me up enough, just enough to dip into the pool when I got back to my hotel. Definitely my favourite thing about staying in Kuala Lumpur and this Malaysia trip. Day at the track followed by pool time.
It's post-holiday me again, just jumping in because I didn't take a lot of footage on Sunday. The reason for this was we didn't get a lot of information on the incident that caused the heavy delays. There were no official announcements at the track, and the only information we had we got by zooming in to the big screen and seeing what, the medical information. So both riders conscious. It was released today that both Jose Antonio Rueda and Noah Detweiler did go into cardiac arrest at the track, and it was quite stressful being at the track. It was a very lengthy period of time with no announcements. We were extremely worried. People were quite frustrated that they didn't know what was going on. So no one knew that the track hadn't been cleared. So people around us were like, surely the track's cleared by now. Let's get the action started. And then the medical choppers left, and that was all the information we had. So we just saw the helicopter take off and land on the track and then take off, and then the second helicopter go as well. So that was quite, I guess, harrowing, and it didn't feel like I should be celebrating at the track. So that's the reason for the lack of footage on Sunday, because it just, yeah, left a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, and I personally think that Moto3 should have been cancelled, but that's my personal opinion. We did see all of the action and I stayed for it all. It was a very long day, but here's some of the footage I did take.
Get here early, people. So I got here well before warm up started. I was on the first bus to the track, and yeah, it was great. I got my seat. I was on my own, so it wasn't so much of a big deal. But we had families arriving just before the MotoGP race and trying to sit together. Obviously, that seems just like a really silly thing to try and do. But yeah, get here early, expect delays. It's a big event, so yeah, well worthwhile arriving early, especially if there's a group of you, so that you can all sit together. As I said earlier, the buses were a bit of a nightmare. On day 2, we actually stopped on a highway and waited for another bus to come so we could follow it. Overall, a bit of a shambles, but all part of the learning experience. I flew home on the Monday, and it was always fun seeing so much MotoGP merch at an airport. Yeah, you feel surrounded by the people that you know and all love the same thing. Overall, it was a wonderful weekend. And Singapore Airport is absolutely stunning. I actually wish I had more time there for my layover.
I got these really awesome t-shirts. They are a little big for me, but they didn't have any of the smallest sizes left from the track. But it wasn't in the track. So after you leave, there's these people and they're set up with their tarps and they're selling, these sort of tops and lanyards and stickers and just, not official merch, but it was so cheap. These cost me the equivalent of 15 New Zealand dollars. So overall, awesome. And yeah, they've got some really cool stuff. All up, the trip cost me about $2,500 for an entire week in Kuala Lumpur, and I easily spent about 2,750 for the Phillip Island leg, and that was only 4 days. So it's easy to say that I would go back to Kuala Lumpur and the Sepang International Circuit before I'd go back to Phillip Island. And yeah, definitely main grandstand or the K grandstand would be my advice, and get the bus to the airport and then get the train. It will be a lot faster, and overall I think staying in Kuala Lumpur was worth it, but I obviously haven't tried to stay anywhere else, so maybe I will for next time. But that's my experience attending the Malaysian Grand Prix.